drawing one too. We're going to go over the giant candy drawing. This will be the first drawing that you guys do upon our return from winter break. What you're going to need, you will have your regular paper. That's your final drawing paper. You'll have some practice sheets so that you can kind of practice with the material before you get started. You're going to need a number 2 pencil, watercolor paints, oil pastels. You're going to need a few things of mints. A viewfinder, you might use it, you might not, but you'll have one. And then water cup and the paintbrush. Alright, you can see kind of behind me some examples. So we're going to go over this. Project objectives. My job for this project is to take what I've learned about creating with oil pastels and watercolor paints to create a gigantic multicolored pastel drawing of several mints while using a magnified perspective. So you're going to take these small mints and blow them up big. By the end of the project, I will have created a magnified view multicolored pastel drawing. So the first thing we need to do, how do you use pastels? Most of you, especially if you had me for Intro to Art, you've already used pastels, but we're going to just kind of do a quick little rundown so that you know. In the helpful hints, it says oil pastels start with the darkest color first, layering the colors dark to light. So because it has the oil base in it, you keep layering on top of it, and layering on top of it is how they will blend. Oil pastels blend by mixing the oils through the layering. So to get kind of colors, and you can kind of see, like if you look at this one, notice that a couple of them stayed true to the actual color of the mints, but then a lot of them kind of went off and did their own colors. You do not have to stay with the color of the mint. You don't have to use just red. You can use different colors. Make it interesting to look at. So you can kind of see in this one, their colors, they went from white to yellow and orange and red. Here, even though they're mainly red, they actually added some orange from where it bends to kind of give it that feeling of bending. Here you can see they have reds to oranges and then light white to show through where the light would hit it, and then oranges back to the reds, dark green, light green, the white, light green to dark green again, dark blue to light blue, the white, light blue to dark blue. So there's multiple ways that you can do this. If you're going to choose colors, so like let's say if we go with kind of like the yellow, the orange, and the red, you're going to pick the yellow, the orange, and the red. Now, red is the darkest of the colors. So you're going to start with the red and do kind of a layer. This will get the oil onto the paper. Then you would take the orange and you would go right on top of the red so it blends in, and then you start pulling it out. And that is how you get that nice change of color instead of it looking striped. Then you take the yellow, again you start right on top of the orange, and then you can kind of pull it out. So some of the orange got on there, so I'm going to pull that out. And now you see we got yellow. So that's kind of how it blends. You don't blend like with your finger like you normally have done, because the oil's in your skin and the oil in the pigment of the oil pastel, they don't like each other. And what happens is it starts to clump up. And once it clumps up, you can't ever get it smooth again. So we don't blend with our hands, you blend with layering. I'm going to show you. So if we started with yellow, excuse me, if you try to blend the orange, do you see how it stripes? Oils work different than how we've normally done. Normally we start light to dark, but oils won't do that because they won't blend going light to dark. So this is the wrong way. Look at that nice change of color, okay? You could do the same thing. Let's say we take blues. So you would start with the darkest blue, and you'd get a nice layer. Then you take the next blue right on top. And you take the next blue. And you can get that nice light blue. Okay, so that's kind of how you get that nice change. So before you get started, play with the colors a little bit, play with the oil pastels, try blending them, see how you like them, what colors work well together, how you get them to blend. Kind of figure that out before you truly decide what colors. And you can always change your mind. Like this one had several different colors going on. You can do that as well. Let's say you find a variety of colors you like to use them. Use them throughout the work. The actual drawings of the candy is what will be the oil pastels. So we're going to go back to this. Step 1, place several mints out in front of you in different positions. So you'll have a bag of mints to choose from. Some of them have kind of the wrapped edges and some designs on them. That's just kind of interesting, kind of fun, I thought. And then some of them are just plain. Doesn't matter to me. You can use all of the same. You can mix it up. It's entirely up to you. Step 2, it says practice reproducing the mints and the packaging textures and shapes on basically sketch paper. So you might want to try a couple, see how well you can kind of get that shape down. Practice a little bit before you start on your big paper so you know how to get the look of the Starlit candy, the mints that you're going to be drawing. Kind of thing. The packaging, like maybe the packaging you're doing the one like that. Maybe you're kind of doing the one where they come together here and it goes out this way. Practice it. See what you like. See if you add the stars, how does that look in the look of it. So practice some of them out. See how well they how you draw them. How does it look from the side? Like if you do one, it almost kind of looks kind of like a box, although it's rounded a little bit. And you can kind of see how the edges come, and then the wrapper again, kind of along the edges of it. So practice different views of them so you can kind of get a feel of how to do it before you start on your actual drawing. Then it says step 3, draw the mints as if they were blown up or magnified. Use the picture plane space for your placement. So now we're going to our final drawing paper. And what you're going to do, this is where if you want to use your viewfinder, you can, to kind of focus in so that you're seeing only parts, or just make sure you draw nice and big, whichever one you're going to be most successful at. And what you're going to do is you're going to start. And I'm drawing this one right here first. This is kind of how I see it. There's a little bit up there that I can kind of see. And I kind of sketch it out first because it's not, I'm drawing a little darker than really you probably want to draw to sketch. So hopefully you can kind of see it. Because you can always erase the pencil line. So here's the one, and now I can go in and start adding the details of the candy, okay? And then the one next to it, it's kind of underneath, and the wrapper kind of comes this way. Kind of goes like this, because then the wrapper is over here. And this too kind of goes like this. So you're gonna start to draw it out, okay? Nice and big, big candies. They can be more spread out if you want, like these ones overlap. These ones are spread out. These overlap a little bit. These are more spread out. These are more spread out. You gotta decide what's gonna be the most interesting picture plane. Once you have it sketched out, you're going to make sure, step 4, it says draw the details, reproduce the shapes and textures of the original mints, then add color using the oil pastels. So right now, again, we're working with just the oil pastels. And I'm going to start, I'm going to do red here. And I'm going to do the orange here. Actually, I'm going to do a red-orange. So I'm layering red on top because I'm going to cover the whole thing. I'm not trying to blend it, I'm trying to cover it. Now I'm going to do the orange here, so it kind of shows where that change happens of where it's actually bending over the edge of the candy. And I'm going to do the red, or the yellow. So now I'm going to start doing the actual candy. I'm going to take the white, I'm going to fill in. Now, if your lines are real scribbly like mine, go back in with an eraser. My pencil doesn't really have a good eraser. And kind of straighten those lines a little bit. Then I'm going to go in again with the white. And maybe for my wrapper, I might do a little bit of gray along the edges. And maybe some white kind of coming in so that it gives it that kind of cellophane look. I'm only going to do this one to kind of show you how to do it. So once you've done that, so now step 5, you're adding color. Step 6 is now where the background comes in. And step 6 is where the watercolor paints are going to come in. We're going to do what is called a wax resist. Even though it's oil, what happens is the water and the oil, they don't like each other, they separate. So you're going to have this background that you can use the watercolor paints for that is going to separate from the foreground that you just did. So, again, you're going to take maybe some scrap paper, or even you could print this even on the same paper so you can see how it looks. Decide on a background. Try to make it interesting. Like if I used a lot of these colors, I might use complementary colors for the background. These are all warm colors, so maybe I'll use cool colors for the background. If I did all blues, maybe I would either go dark, like using blacks, or violets to kind of keep it all cool, or maybe I would even use orange. So kind of test it out. Get water on your paintbrush. This is what it would look like if I used orange. You know, you can see how it doesn't cover, it won't cover where the oil is. Maybe if I use like the blue, you know, for here kind of thing. So start to decide, what do you want for your background? Keep in mind, watercolor paints. The more water, the more you can see through it. The less water, I'm going to use purple with hardly any water, the darker the color becomes. So if you really want it light, you use more water. If you want it dark, you use less water. And that's how you get the color. Okay? So if you look up here, like since they did all warm colors really here, they did a whole cool color background. It can be all one color if you want. This one obviously isn't done, but I hung it up anyway so you could see the candy. This one they did black so it really kind of popped out. This one they used the complementary colors, red versus green. This one I hung up just because I think the candy part of it is relatively good, but the candy kind of mixes in with the background a little too much. So I would definitely try to get a little bit more creative than creating all red and white. You know, kind of add, you guys know colors by now, start adding colors to it to make it a little bit more interesting. So it says here, so you're going to finish in the background. It says fill the background completely with watercolor paints. Make sure the colors, meaning you can use more than one color if you want, you use work with your mint drawings and enhance your drawing rather than distracts from it. So you want to support your drawing, not take away from it. It's still the background. The candy is what needs to be focused on. And then you're going to grade yourself. So for 9 to 10 points of composition, strong, thoughtful composition, the drawing fills up most, if not all, of the paper because the candy is what is focused on. The background is just that. It's the background. It supports the image. For exploration and development of ideas, completed drawing shows that excellent care and thoughtful decisions were made in choosing the placement and position of the mints to be drawn. The setup is interesting and eye-catching. So it makes me want to look at your work. Okay? That's 9 to 10 points. Organization and relationships for 9 to 10 points. Good, clear, and thoughtful use of texture, color, value, and unity was used to complete your drawing. 9 to 10 points. Magnified view. Outstanding ability in recognition and organization of the elements through the use of principles. Highly accomplished ability to draw the mints in a blown up, magnified view so that the mints look huge and take up most, if not all, of the drawing paper. For 9 to 10 points, the pastels, the oils, control and material and processes. Completed drawing shows excellent, clear, and highly effective use in control and understanding of pastels, their techniques and processes. Meaning, you got that gradual change. It doesn't look striped in your work. For 9 to 10 points, watercolor paints. Completed painting shows excellent, clear, and highly effective use, control, and understanding of watercolor paint, its techniques and processes. Again, you use the colors in the background to support your image. For 9 to 10 points, color, texture, details. The entire drawing includes all of the color variations, textures, and details from the original mints, but again, you can change up the color to make it more interesting. You can stick with red, but you don't have to. 9 to 10 points, the background, outstanding ability to create an emphasis, a background that works with your drawing and enhances your drawing. So it doesn't distract from it, it makes it better. 9 to 10 points, craftsmanship, careful time and extreme care was put into the entire drawing. 9 to 10 points for personal vision and presentation, outstanding demonstration of personal and creative response to creating a magnified view drawing. Highly accomplished personal evaluation and critical thinking skills are clear in all of the choices and decisions that you made in your drawing. The color usage, the background usage, the placement of the candies, the blown up view, the look, did you turn any to the side? Is it interesting? That is all part of that. And the 9 to 10 points, was it completed on time and turned in? Some examples at the bottom. And then the back side will be your reflection that you will write. When you are done, name goes on the back, name goes on this, it gets turned in, and then we move on to the next project. You guys will do fantastic. I know you will. You can use these as ideas to kind of jump off of, and just kind of play around with it first, and then go in and start. Make sure you clean up the edges, get an eraser, kind of clean it up, make sure it's nice and neat. Practice with the materials before you use them so that you can really, really be successful with it. Good luck. I know you'll be do great on these. I can't wait to see how they look at the end when I come back. And just do the best you can. Have a good time.